Okay, with just 2 attacking units, check this out. Saboteur, Annie, that's it. Take a look. Holy. You know, just casually leveling Annie on attack 3. Hey, what's up? I got some more lore content for you guys. I've got another deck from the new expansion to showcase, and that is the highly requested Ravenborn Tome Jhin Annie. This deck aims to play very fast, dropping aggressive units early that have skills that either stun units or deal direct damage to the opponent's nexus. It tries to set up big lethal pushes while the opponent can't block, and then finish out with direct damage when needed. I want to run through my card choices, explain why they're in the deck, and give you the knowledge to pilot the deck yourself. The code for the deck will be in the description below along with the Mobilix link. Before I get into the deck profile, if you're new, please consider hitting the subscribe button to stay up to date with my content. I also stream on Twitch often, so check me out over there if you're looking for live gameplay, and also consider visiting my Patreon if I've helped you on your lore journey. With that, I hope you enjoyed this deck profile. And getting right into it, it is very similar to the Jhin Annie that you know and love. However, we are playing around a new card that just came out. Taking a look at it, we see that it is a 2 mana +1/+0 equipment. When my bearer plays a skill, copy it. This is a pretty interesting effect. We have a couple targets to play around, which we'll be talking about. But yeah, it's a pretty cool card. I would say overall, this variation of Jhin Annie is not better than just the standard one that runs like the Demolitionist and the extra aggressive 1-drop via the Crimson Pigeon or Precious Pet, whichever direction you're going. However, this is the best list, the best version that I found that does actually try to play around the Ravenborn Tome. So if you want a different take on Jhin Annie, you want to spice it up a little bit and play around the new card, then this is the perfect list for you to try. I've been experimenting with it over the past week and a half, and I have it to where all the numbers make a lot of sense, and it's really fun to play. So getting into the list specifically, we have triple Annie. Of course, attack, I deal 2 to my blocker. If it's dead or gone, I deal 2 to the enemy nexus instead. Annie is actually a pretty good holder for Ravenborn Tome, as long as the opponent doesn't have an out to it. If we're able to dodge the deal 2 regions, like P and Z, you know, having Mystic Shot and High Note, and also Bandle City having dropped the bomb, then Annie actually gets a lot of value from the Ravenborn Tome. It's just a little annoying when she is removed immediately, or if they trade into her with like Broadwing or Valor, that gets really frustrating. But if Annie is left alone and the weapon is on her, she gets a lot of pressure in, extra damage, and also level up points. Now this is extremely good if you have Jhin in hand, because then you'll be double casting and he sees that, and then he starts popping Lotus Traps, and you can kind of create a snowball effect, which is basically the reoccurring theme with Ravenborn Tome. It seems like it's very good from ahead, but really bad from behind. So it is a snowbally card and also a win more card. However, it does sacrifice a little bit of deck consistency, because sometimes you'll open Tome and not have the best holder for it, or you will open double Tome and then that kind of breaks your hand and it's kind of hard to close out. So that's kind of where we're at the moment. Once Annie levels, she deals 3 to the blocker, and if it's dead or gone, deal 3 to the enemy nexus. Very good. Disintegrate, very good card, especially coupled with Pirouette, which we are running. That way we can actually execute things, and people are not often prepared for that. And then we also get Tibbers when she levels, and that's really good too. That way we have a mid-game powerhouse card that's fearsome and deals some AoE damage. Really sick overall. Next we have Crackshot Corsair, which is a pretty decent holder for Ravenborn Tome. Don't usually mind it. If we have extra tomes, like if we're sitting on 2, one of them can go to Corsair, and that feels pretty good because she doesn't usually enter combat. So that means we're going to get multiple attacks off with the Corsair, and she'll be double casting, and that's pretty good. You know, over the course of like 3 or 4 attacks, that feels pretty nice. Legion Saboteur, not the best holder, but is just, of course, a really good skill synergy aggressive 1-drop. Pirouette, pretty much the best card in the deck if I had to say. It's really strong, especially if you can plunder and play it for 1, which is pretty easy to do with Tusk Speaker, or if Jhin pops a Lotus Trap, or if Mana Soul Student pops his skill, then you have 1 mana Pirouette. And this gets really crazy if you have more than 1 Pirouette in hand, because then you can do like a ping stun, and then another ping stun, and then the opponent just can't play, and that feels really strong, especially from ahead. Next we have the weapon, which we already covered. Solari Sunhawk, 2 mana, 2/3, Daybreak Stun. So yeah, half the deck, the skills are going to be dealing direct damage. The other half of the deck are going to be stunning the opponent's units. Now this is a really good effect because you can use it aggressively or defensively, depending on, what turn you're on, when you need to use the stuns, how many you have in your hand, and it's really cool because you can get some pretty sick, just AoE board-wide stuns with your aggro deck. Next we have Stagehand, another 2 mana stun card, really good. It's ephemeral so it dies end of round. Make sure to use this when you are able to push the 4 damage into the opponent's face. Tusk Speaker, deal 1 on play, which is really good. Mana Soul Student, aka Donnie. Donnie is really good with Ravenborn Tome. Unfortunately, he also dies to Mystic and a lot of other mid-game removal cards. It's pretty easy to deal with him. However, if he is reading the Tome and gets a couple of his skills off, then, you get a lot of value out of this guy. He's really strong. If you can get 3 or 4 procs, then you are in good business. Noxian Fervor to close out, also use it reactively. What's really cool is you can actually use Noxian Fervor to pop Lotus Trap sometimes, and that's a pretty skill expressive way to use Fervor. Really cool card. Yeah, you can also use it to finish the game, find some cheesy lethals. Really strong. Captive Greyback, which is a big surprise. A lot of people would not expect Captive Greyback to ever see play. However, this is one of the strongest Tome Holders that we have in Standard. 4 mana, 2/3, Overwhelm. On attack, I deal 3 to my blocker. If it's dead or gone, I deal 3 damage to the enemy nexus instead. So if you're double casting this, it will deal 6 to an enemy blocker, and then he still pushes 2 damage. If they block with a 3 HP unit or less, then the first skill will kill, then the second skill will deal 3, and then his Overwhelm will kick in, dealing 2. So he's basically it's a 2-card combo to get 5 damage, essentially, or trade up into 6 HP units, which is really good. If you have multiple Captive Greybacks, you are just punching really hard. And he also has 3 HP, which makes him a little bit more resilient than something like Mana Soul Student. So yeah, Captive Greyback, actually a decent holder, and a pretty good attack 4 unit. I've been pleasantly surprised with this card, and yeah, I really like him. Next we have Jhin, who is the best holder for Ravenborn Tome, and the only card in which I will say makes the card broken. Jhin plus Tome means you're popping double Lotus Traps whenever he gets 3 skills off, and that's obviously not fair right then and there. However, he also double casts his attack call, Deadly Flourish, with the Tome on, so you'll be dealing 4 to, that's really good, 4, exactly what Jhin wants, to all stun enemies. And this gets really crazy, which I don't even think I've done this yet, is he can double cast Curtain Call when he has Tome, which means the opponent is taking 8 direct damage to their face before any Lotus Traps are going in. So probably upwards of 10 if you're on a really big attack call, because you get double Lotus Trap, you get double Curtain Call. Yeah, it's at least 10 damage going directly into the opponent's face. Now that is absolutely insane. So yeah, it's one of the highest highs the deck can pull off. And yeah, like I mentioned, I don't even think I've done it yet, but that would be really cool to hit. And then rounding out the list, we have 2 Witness. On Flow, I cost 2 less. Flow activates on skills, so if we play 2 skills on defense turn, and that's pretty easy to do with Tusk Speaker, and that pops a Lotus Trap, then the following turn we have 2 mana Witness, and that's really good because we can do Sunhawk Witness, or we can do Sunhawk plus Witness Witness, or Sunhawk Witness Stagehand, or throw a pirouette in there, all kinds of different combos. It's just nice to have the 2 mana 3/3 stun body, and sometimes if he's not flowed, we can still play it for 4 and be pretty happy because the stun is just a premium effect. We love to see that. And then we have Augmented Experimenter to discard our hand and search for lethals. We can hit Fervor off this guy, we can hit Pirouette on attack turns, just good stuff like that. So wrapping up the deck profile, I wanted to make this deck as consistent as possible, so it still feels a lot like the standard version of Jhin Annie because it has a lot of the same tools. However, there are some games where we can open a Tome and a Captive Greyback and a Donnie, and it feels just different enough to be really spicy and exciting. So yeah, this is the list that I came to. It's the numbers I'm super happy with, and I'm excited to hear you guys try it and see what you think. And that's it for the deck profile. Now here's some live commentary games so you can see how the deck plays out. I'll be giving context to why I'm playing certain cards, and hopefully it gives you a good feel on how to play the deck. And for game 1, we have the classic Sett Karma. Really annoying deck to face. They can pretty much shoot all of our stuff on summon, makes our Ravenborn Tome a lot less valuable, but we'll see how we do. Let's go ahead and get rid of Witness and Stagehand. We can keep Corsair and Tusk. That's usually a pretty good 1 into 2 opener. They could Mystic Shot my Tusk, which would be kind of cringe, but we do open Jhin, and Jhin is nice to have in early hands. That way he can pop Lotus Traps for us. Corsair. 2-1. Get back the spell mana. I'm actually kind of down to do Sunhawk now instead of Tusk, because Tusk would just get traded into, which is not super great. This puts the pressure on them, and it's not even Mystic Shotable or high notable. Mystic on my Corsair. They could ping Corsair, which would be kind of annoying too. Yep, there it is. And then we can punch them for 2. Bonk. We might float 3 and then play Jhin. I'm kind of down. It also burns one of their mana. Otherwise, we can do like Tusk Speaker, Stagehand on 4 and also have Fervor. That feels pretty good. I don't really need to play anything on 3 here. Floating Fervor mana is usually pretty good. Karma sets, turn 4. We could do double Stagehand as well, but we might need that for like a lethal push later. So let's just do Tusk. See how we feel about this, and then go Stagehand next. It's never Jhin because he just gets like Hexbliterated or something, or recalled. We're going to keep him in hand for a little bit longer. And we can Stagehand.
If we seek forgiveness, we must commit all.
If they Concussive Palm, I can actually Fervor. So that should be pretty good. I hope they Concussive. They do. Alright, Concussive Palm. We Fervor this into face. What's really interesting is this makes Concussive Palm fizzle, so they don't even have access to the unit. See? If we check the eyeball, they do not get a unit, because it says stun an enemy to summon Tail of the Dragon, which means if they don't get the stun off, they don't get the unit. So we'll go ahead and Fervor that straight into face, which forces like removal. They're not on it, so that is a waste of a Concussive, meaning they can't recall it back to hand and continue to get value from it. Push here. So yeah, it was really good that we floated defense 3. That was a very important turn. Double Stagehand. Okay, that is interesting. And also like very extra. Yep, clock. Well, I'm down to play Jhin now. Here we go. Because they're not on Sett on attack 5. And then next turn we have double Stagehand, which is a triple stun, essentially, because that will proc Lotus Trap too. Puts them in a really bad spot. I take 2, yep. So we could just edge out like a turn 6 lethal here. Would be really sick. Was this high note? Okay. 1 mana high note, so you got that from block. Sounds good. Yeah, we're just gonna lead Stagehand. If they have any Caustic Rifts or something, they have to be on 2 of them. Ooh, wow. Okay, let's Stagehand.
I am frightened.
We might be able to Tome the Jhin, guys.
Embrace it. Your adoring public awaits.
This is definitely a Tome angle. Don't Hexbliterator Jhin. Please let me Tome. Don't be weird. I want to Tome this so bad, because that would be so spicy to get double Lotus Trap for fun. Oh, they're on the Hexbliterator. They decided to be cringe.
Is so much bigger than us both.
That was about to be like the Jhin pop-off.
If you do not have a part to play, take one.
Well, we can still Tome like the Sunhawk or something. Yeah, or we just win. Good enough. Man, that was going to be some fireworks there with Jhin Tome. And for game 2, we have Eve Kayle. Very scary deck, abusing Siren Song, of course. Saboteur, Tusk, get rid of Donnie, probably get rid of Stagehand. We can keep Saboteur and Tusk. Gives us something to do if we're not on triple 1-drop opener. And we open Jhin again, which is beautiful. Always nice so they can get the extra damage for us in the early game. You're wet, super good too. If they played Lifesteal Guy, it's kind of cringe. We hate that guy, because we have to like Fervor cheat his attacks, and we also have to like stun him. It makes our turns like really awkward. We can play through it, but it's like not super comfy. Yeah, that guy, I hate that guy.
But keep hope alive.
Are you gonna send it or what?
Her light still burns.
Interesting. Alright, I'm probably just gonna open attack though. I'm not playing Tusk. Let's just open. I think open's fine. They could do Naked Pale and heal, and that doesn't really do a lot. Otherwise, we just get rid of it early. Yo, that's huge. That's one less heal guy we have to deal with Siren Song. Okay. Yeah, let's... We could also just full float. That feels pretty nice. We could do like Jhin on 4 for sure, with like pirouette mana as well. Okay, let's pass. Captive Greyback. Wow, if only we had Tome. That'd be sick. Vora. Vora, huh? Let's play Tusk Speaker here, probably.
I bring music and war.
Yeah, and then we'll just do Jhin Pirouette. Unless we top deck Tome, I'll actually put that on him. Start reading some books. Yeah. We take 3 to face, no big deal. Jhin it to win it. Jhin it to win it. That also gives us a double pirouette turn, which is massive. So go ahead and play a card. Oh, don't Sunburst. Okay, Siren Song. I was about to say, if they Sunburst, I'd be so incredibly mad. We pirouette, ping face, stun that. Cool.
I will give them a show.
Which pops a Lotus Trap, which also stuns the Challenger Husk. Is fine. I wonder if they're on like another 1-drop. Or even Salter would actually be kind of scary with Fearsome Challenger. Those are good keywords. If not, we're going to send it. Yeah, maybe they just pass here. And then I don't have to pirouette. That'd be pretty good. I'd like to just shoot. Ideally. Hate Spike. Sure, Jhin gets to live though. Yeah, so that was just kind of unnecessary. They got their Challenger Husk back. It's interesting.
Places, people.
Sure. We can go ahead and shoot Vora. Thank God Jhin has 4 HP. Makes him so hard to deal with. And then whatever they play, like if they play Kayle or Evelyn, whatever, we'll just stun it. And we have another stun next turn. Like, whatever they play, it can't attack or block. I will literally not let it. This hand is so good for that. We also have Captive Greyback, which can be a pop-off. Yep, there's the Evelyn off the top.
I have the tendency
Challenger Fearsome. Here's the thing, right, is like, those keywords,
another plaything.
as good as they are, do not matter.
Mind if I slip into something a little more painful?
Yep. Because you ain't doing nothing this turn.
I will give them a show to remember.
Yep. And then we are passing. But, wait, there's more. We're gonna do it again.
Back on the prowl.
Which is the fun part. Sunhawk. There we go. Quick little double stun. And if they play out another unit, then we'll stun that too. While also having Captive Greyback. Uh-oh. Wait, is this a Hush? What are you doing? It'd be interesting if they buff something else and then like Sunhawk change target, but not sure what's going on.
Your mark eventually.
Not sure what's going on at all. Vora.
Laura, looking for satisfaction?
Yes,
Lights out.
Go ahead and stun that as well.
Beautiful, is it not?
Yeah, it is. Okay, there's the Hush. So no leveled up. It's fine. We still win, of course. Very cute silence. Let's get that Captive Greyback lethal while we can. Aw, man, no fun. Oh well. Alright, this final game is going to be the Tome Diff. We're definitely going to draw Annie and Tome in opening hand, and it's going to clutch us every time. Okay, we have Annie. That's half of it. We'll get rid of Tusk Speaker and Jhin and try to hard mulligan for the Tome. Because, like, Tusk Speaker would be good, but I want to make sure we get a Tome game. Let's go. Yeah, let's go. It's the Tome. Okay, this is big. We have Annie Tome, We have Jhin Tome. We have second Annie in case the first one dies to like affectionate Poro plus snack. This is so big. All right. This is for all the marbles. We're attacking on odds, right? All right. Do we tome this right away? I think we should. Yeah, let's do it. The scariest Annie. This Nimble Poro can't even attack. If it attacks, it dies to my Annie because of the +1 boost. Alright. We're gaming. So we play out Saboteur Corsair. Let's just dump our entire hand, yeah. If this Annie manages to die somehow, then we can just put the Tome on Jhin, replay Annie. Alright. That is a good game plan. Cool Shark, sure. Let's play Corsair as well. Make sure we get the extra crack shot in. I will send the Saboteur, and it will die, but that will be worth. Get ready to check out this attack 3. Just like skill stack. It's about to be insane. Okay, with just 2 attacking units, check this out. Saboteur, Annie. That's it. Take a look. Holy. 5 skills. They go to 9 Annie levels. Boom. Crackshot Corsair goes up. Saboteur goes up. Lotus Trap. Annie attack. Annie attack times 2. And level. You know, just casually leveling Annie on attack 3. You know how it is. Alright, so now we're actually going to try to kill Annie off to put the Tome on Greyback or Jhin. That's the current game plan. Siren Song, cool. Unless we top deck another Tome, that'd be really sick. Lay out Jhin.
Billowing, beckoning.
Like, I wish I could just unequip, like, just like grab the weapon off. I would pay mana to do it just so I could swap it onto Jhin. Big Poro Fly. Yeah, attack with it. It doesn't even die to my Jhin, just swing. Yes! Okay. No, swing, please. I want to block with Annie. No! Okay. That is a shame. That is a bit of a shame.
I have prepared something.
Stun Hawk, hit that double stun real quick. Get rid of that spell shield.
I will allow for no mistakes.
Poro bot. Now we stun this.
I am frightened, but I am ready.
Embrace
Okay, wait. We have level Jhin on 5? We don't even have to pre-commit Disintegrate. If we just attack like this, we have Curtain Call. Oh my god.
We'll make this right.
Hey, yo. Imagine if we had Weapon on Jhin, he would be double casting Curtain Call. If only they killed my Annie. Yo, this is some damage.
Here, waiting.
Yeah. And this would be a double cast. Because we would just pre-commit Disintegrate and get there. Boom. Jhin level on attack 5. That's a pretty high. Pretty good turbo game. So yeah, just some closing thoughts. Because Jhin Annie doesn't have a lot of draw, it usually plays with like the top 10 cards of its deck each and every game. So there's going to be a lot of times where you don't draw Tome. That's why I think building it to be as consistent as possible and as strong as possible without Tome, but also able to play around it if it comes up, is the best direction to go. I think I've done that, and I hope you guys can try it out and get some of the really crazy high rolls in where you can get like Jhin double Lotus Traps popping and double Deadly Flourishes, because it is a lot of fun. It basically does look like, you know, the 4th of July on the skill stack when you start popping off, you know, 8 skills on just one attack call and turbo leveling Jhin, and it's really cool. It's really fun. And that's it for this one. Please like and subscribe if you thought this video was informative or entertaining. It really helps me out. I'll be releasing more deck profiles, guides, gameplay highlights, and meta reports in the near future. Thank you so much for watching and have a good one. Laters!